never slow up, no I don't take shit, I got no.
BTS News Today. The atmosphere inside the venue shifted the moment BTS stepped onto the stage, as if the air itself had been charged with an electric current of anticipation and emotion. Long before the first note echoed through the speakers, thousands of voices, belonging to the ever-passionate army, had already begun to rise, creating a deafening wave of sound that seemed to shake the very structure of the arena. But what unfolded next was not just another concert moment, it became a scene that even those tasked with maintaining order could not resist. As the opening beats dropped and the members of BTS appeared under the dazzling lights, the crowd erupted into a unified roar so powerful it felt almost tangible. Fans screamed with everything they had, their voices blending into a chorus of pure devotion. It wasn't just excitement, it was a release of years of love, loyalty, and longing, all poured into one overwhelming moment. The members themselves paused for a brief second, visibly moved, as they took in the magnitude of the reception. Amid this overwhelming surge of energy, something unexpected happened. Along the barricades and near the stage, security personnel, often seen as stoic and focused, began to soften. Their usual composed expressions gave way to subtle smiles, and in some cases, even quiet laughter. It was a rare sight. Professionals trained to remain vigilant found themselves captivated by the raw, unfiltered emotion of the fans. One guard, standing near the front, was seen glancing at the crowd with a grin, clearly amused and touched by the sheer intensity of the moment. The connection between BTS and their fans has always been described as something extraordinary, but moments like this reveal just how far that connection reaches. It extends beyond music, beyond performance, and even beyond the boundaries of the stage. It influences everyone present, including those who are not there as fans but as part of the operation. The energy becomes contagious, impossible to ignore, and undeniably human. As the performance continued, the screams did not fade, they only grew louder, more synchronized, as if each song fueled the next wave of emotion. BTS delivered powerful vocals and sharp choreography, but it was the mutual exchange of energy between them and ARMY that truly defined the night. Every glance, every smile from the members seemed to send the crowd into another frenzy, creating a cycle of excitement that refused to break. By the time the final song approached, the atmosphere had transformed into something almost surreal. The lights, the sound, the voices, and the emotions merged into a single unforgettable experience. And there, still standing along the edges, the security staff remained, some still smiling, some quietly nodding, witnesses to a moment that transcended their roles. In the end, it wasn't just a concert. It was a powerful reminder of music's ability to unite, to move, and to break down barriers in the most unexpected ways. Even those who came prepared to simply do their job left with something more, a glimpse into the extraordinary world that BTS and ARMY create together, where even the strictest boundaries can soften under the force of pure passion. As the final echoes of the last song slowly faded into the vastness of the arena, the energy refused to disappear. Instead, it lingered, hovering in the air like a heartbeat that refused to slow down. The members of BTS stood on stage, slightly breathless yet glowing, their eyes scanning the ocean of lights created by ARMY. It was in that quiet, almost fragile pause that something deeper unfolded, something that no script or rehearsal could ever replicate. One by one, the members began to speak, their voices softer now, layered with emotion. There was laughter, but beneath it, a trace of disbelief, as if even they were still trying to process what had just happened. The crowd responded to every word, every pause, every small smile, as though each second was too precious to let slip by unnoticed. And once again, the sound rose, not as explosive as before, but warmer, more intimate, like a shared understanding between artist and audience. Near the barricades, the security personnel who had earlier been caught smiling now stood a little differently. Their posture remained professional, but their expressions told another story. Some exchanged glances, as if silently acknowledging that they had witnessed something rare. A few even seemed reluctant for the night to end, their eyes occasionally drifting back to the stage instead of the crowd they were meant to monitor. Back on stage, the members moved closer together, forming a line as they prepared to say goodbye. But instead of a simple farewell, they lingered. One member waved slowly, another bowed deeply, while another simply stood still, taking it all in. It felt less like an ending and more like a moment suspended in time, where no one, not even the performers, wanted to let go. Then, almost unexpectedly, the fans began a chant. It started from one section, soft and steady, before spreading across the entire venue like a ripple. The name BTS echoed again and again, not as a scream this time, but as a promise, something enduring, something that would outlast the night itself. The members visibly reacted, some placing their hands over their hearts, others blinking rapidly as if holding back tears. What made the moment even more striking was how it reached beyond the stage once again. One security guard, previously seen smiling, now stood completely still, watching the scene unfold with an expression that suggested quiet awe. For a brief second, the line between duty and emotion blurred completely. In that space, everyone, fans, artists, staff, became part of the same story. As the lights finally began to dim and the members slowly exited the stage, the noise didn't immediately stop. The fans stayed, their voices lingering, unwilling to accept that it was truly over. It was as if the connection forged during those hours could not simply be turned off like a switch. Outside the venue, the echoes continued. Fans replayed moments on their phones, their voices still hoarse, their faces flushed with excitement. Conversations overlapped, about favorite songs, unexpected gestures, and that unforgettable sight of even the security staff breaking into smiles. It became clear that this was not just a performance to be remembered, it was an experience to be retold, over and over again. And perhaps that is what made the night so powerful. It wasn't only about the music or the scale of the event, but about the way it quietly reshaped everyone present. For a few hours, roles dissolved, barriers softened, and something profoundly human took center stage. Long after the arena emptied and the lights went out, one thing remained certain: this was not just another stop on a tour. It was a moment that lived on, in the voices that refused to fade, in the smiles that appeared unexpectedly, and in the shared memory of a night when even those trained to stay neutral couldn't help but feel the magic. Hours after the venue had emptied and the last traces of music had dissolved into the night, the impact of what had happened continued to ripple far beyond the arena walls. Clips began surfacing across social media almost instantly, shaky handheld videos capturing not just the powerful performance of BTS, but the rare and unexpected reactions from those who were never meant to be part of the spotlight. Among the most talked about moments was a short clip showing a line of security staff, their faces lit by stage lights, unable to hide their smiles as the voices of ARMY reached a deafening peak. Within minutes, the video spread globally, drawing reactions from fans and casual viewers alike. Comments flooded in, many pointing out how unusual it was to see such a scene, professionals trained to remain composed, momentarily disarmed by the overwhelming emotion surrounding them. Some described it as proof of BTS's real impact, while others simply called it a moment you can't fake. As discussions grew, fans began sharing their own experiences from that night, piecing together a fuller picture of what had unfolded. There were stories of strangers hugging during emotional songs, of fans losing their voices yet continuing to sing, and of fleeting eye contact with the members that felt, to them, deeply personal. Each story added another layer to what was quickly becoming more than just a concert. It was turning into a shared narrative, one that blurred the lines between performer and audience.
If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. Everything I do so instinctive and so passionate. Every word I move so descriptive like an adjective. I got a vendetta against people who patented being negative when you should be getting after it. I got facts over tracks, this and that.